Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of My Dear China, where we talk about situations in China using information that's provided on the Chinese internet as opposed to the Western internet, because the nationalists and the spokespeople for the CCP automatically debunk everything that comes out of the West and say that everything is fake news. So this is sort of a continuation from the other day's talk I gave on the hukao and the gaokao. The hukao is the passport for the Chinese people, which keeps them in their villages. And the gaokao is the educational system, which unfortunately is an education system that favors or teaches students not how to think, but what to think. So with that in mind, when you're teaching people what to think, what better education system would you have if you were a corrupt government, single leader? Nothing would be finer than to be able to tell people what to do and how to think. Now, we saw this before with Mao Zedong and the Red Guard and the little red books, all of these people running around spouting the words of Mao Zedong. It's no different now with the new emperor. He has his thoughts of Chairman Xi, and he has decreed that they be rehearsed, listened to, read, and understood from kindergarten through to university. And at the university level, it needs to be a course, the thoughts of Chairman Xi. Now, all of this for one man's thoughts and his control, and he wants all the people to take part in this. I've read things where they want people to walk out in the park and shout out the thoughts of Chairman Xi. Meetings in large corporate buildings should have a meeting in the morning where they discuss, first of all, the thoughts of Chairman Xi. Now, one man has mandated this. And how was he able to do it? And the only conclusion I come to is fear, sheer fear of anything that might happen to you if you don't do as you're told. Recently, of course, they had the big vote for Emperor Xi to get his next 5 years in office. And I don't know how many members in the Politburo there are, 285, 450. I'm not sure how many there are, but up on the wall, there's the board of those who voted for and against and abstained. I'm sure probably most of you saw that. The whole entire population in the Politburo voted yay for the chairman to get another 5-year term. Nobody abstained and nobody voted against it, which of course makes no sense. If you look at most other governments around the world, when they have a vote, there's always a 51-49 split or a 64-28 split, anything like that. But 100%? And have no dissenters. Like nobody said, I don't think I'll vote today. Or I'm not sure which way to go. Why did that happen? Fear. Sheer fear of what would happen to their careers, what could happen to their families. And remember, more people disappear in China than in any other country on this planet. And, the emperor himself is always on a tangent to get rid of corrupt officials. Well, personally, I can't think of a more corrupt official than him himself. So it just doesn't make any sense for him to do something like that. But let's put it in another context. Let's take the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. And today he comes out with a book on the thoughts of Justin Trudeau. And he mandates that those thoughts be taught in elementary school and high school and university, and that businesses, before they start their business day, have to discuss the thoughts of Justin Trudeau. What would happen? he would be out of office first thing tomorrow morning. We would not tolerate such idiocy and stupidity and demands on the public. Makes no sense whatsoever. Emperor Xi can do it. Gee, why couldn't Justin Trudeau? Because he's not an idiot. The whole country would just get rid of him. It's as simple as that. But why don't they do it in China? Let's go back to it again. It's called fear. Fear of what can happen to you. Look at the Chinese students overseas in all these universities. They fear opening their mouth or saying anything contrary to the Chinese narrative because there are these spies everywhere who will report back to the CCP, and that student's parents will end up having a little conversation with the local police. It's called going for tea at the police station. So again, fear is used. Now, let's get back to our Gaokao, because this is very, very important. Gaokao has been looked at very closely by educators around the world. And these critics say that the exam promotes a kind of rote learning that is endemic to education in China and that hobbles creativity, which is exactly what it does. It hobbles creativity. I remember students in class, and I would say something to them like, so what do you think? Worst thing you could ever say to a Gaokao student. So what do you think? He looked at me and he said, what do you want me to think? That's Gaokao education. Give it to me, I'll memorize it, and I'll spit it back out on the exam paper. But don't ask me to think for myself, because I can't do that. So that's the one major problem of the Gaokao.